Yo, man, give that man a round of applause. He's done it all, Heather B. Remember, he was a panelist on E! I'm taking you way back there.
Oh, my, yes.
Remember that great night show, Chelsea Lately?
That
Remember
makes
him
sense.
doing that?
I'm back.
Oh, you don't see it.
Sway, that's my old special.
I know. I'm just walking you up your.
Oh, you're walking me up memory lane.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
Take a stroll with us. Come
You
on.
know, I could take you to 2005 when you first did Jay Leno.
Stop it.
Come on, man. That was a huge stage for a comic.
Why are you so good at what you do? You know how many interviews I go to and they go, so your Netflix, tell me about it. What? Why don't you watch it? That's not an interview.
No, I watch you all the time, man. I love your commentary. I think it's funny. I think you touch on things that I couldn't touch on. I wouldn't know about Asian people and their accents. You know, I had a woman who was Chinese yesterday, and I'll go ahead and say this because I feel like I could say it now that you kind of started this. By the way, Jo Koy is here, citizen. Jo Koy is here, citizens. Jo Koy is here. And she told me, I promise you, and that please, I don't want to get into no shit because a Chinese woman told me that when Chinese women reach a certain age, they all begin to look alike because they put perm in their hair.
Huh?
They do?
Oh, you never heard? I mean, I know you ain't Chinese.
I haven't heard that, but that's pretty funny. But here's the thing, like
this woman told me this.
No. She's probably telling you something that
she showed me a picture of her mom to show me what she was talking about.
Yeah, and then with Filipino women,
okay,
they hit a certain age and they go really short bob. Okay. So literally they get short hair and glasses, and that's true. It's like it's not all of them, but it's a lot of them.
I never heard that.
So like you'll see 3 Filipino women all look like my mom at a grocery store. Like it was the fun. I went to a grocery store in Queens. I was filming something and 3 ladies walked up to me and wanted to take a picture, and I'm like, you are 3 versions of my mom right now. Like I can literally go home with all 3 of you and I'll probably think it was my mom.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, they just had the short hair, the glasses. It was just the cosmetic makeup. It was like the way they were holding their purses with their arms bent and the purse dangling over. It was my mom.
Well, what about the men? What do the Filipino men kind of gravitate towards?
I don't think anyone really pays attention to the Filipino man. It's the Filipino mom that they run the show. They run the house. They run everything. The man just sits in the corner and just lives.
That's it?
I swear. They're over there somewhere.
Just eating.
Must be
It's
nice.
the Filipino mom that gets everything going. Kicks people out of the house, lets people in the house, feeds people, supports everybody. Like seriously, like it's always been the Filipino mom.
Wow, Jo Koy giving us some game right here. I don't even know how we got into this conversation.
But what I'm curious about, if you don't mind me jumping in right now, Sway, just on the subject of Filipinos, you know, oftentimes when we speak about diversity within Hollywood or just entertainment in general, it's about Black people.
Yeah.
You know, getting their just due, getting more spotlight. You know, these conversations happen as soon as the Emmys on Monday. But when you view this discourse, do you see it as, okay, a Black person's win is also a win for Filipinos?
100%.
Okay.
And it's so funny that my new special, I touch base on. I talk about that, and it's just it's like when are we finally get to hear everyone's voice? Because the more you hear all of our stories, the more you're going to realize that we're all the same. And I know I don't want to sound corny, but you turn off the lights, we're the same color. It's like you don't know who all your listeners are, but you have Chinese listeners, you have Filipino listeners, you got Mexicans, you got every single one of them. But when it comes to Hollywood, for some reason they don't want to hear their stories individually. And it drives me nuts. You know, specifically I talk about my Filipino culture, but I talk about my mom. I don't go up there and go, Filipinos do this and I do a story about my mom, and then people go, oh my God, my mom does the same thing with Vicks. My mom does the same thing with that kind of, she has her own bootleg Tupperware. It's like we relate there. That's our common ground. And that's why when you said that about Black people, like when it's like Filipinos love Black culture. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's like I can name 3 celebrity, you know, Black celebrities that are friends of mine, and their wives are Filipino, and they're good. And it's just like when I met their wives, I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, because my sisters, that's all they dated were black guys. And it's like, it's not like I go, ooh, well, you got a Filipino wife? Like, it's like, of course, it's always been like that. That's all I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's like, so when you see like Filipinos, like just how involved we are in hip hop, you know what I mean? It's like you see. Shout out to Chad Hugo and Pharrell. I mean,
shout out to DJ Qbert.
Shout out to DJ Qbert. Shout out to Style Elements and every b-boy that's out there.
Did you say Style Elements?
Come on, man. I used to live with them. I mean, I'm a b-boy. Like, come on. When I did
Crumbs, did we go?
Of course, I know Crumbs. Yeah, Crumbs used to live with me. Come on, my first special, Don't Make 'Em Angry on Comedy Central, Remind and Crumbs opened it.
You know,
they just had to,
Ivan?
they cut it out. Of course, I know Ivan. I'm a b-boy,
Did
bro.
we talk about this?
No, we never talked about this.
Sway.
That's why. That's why.
You wasn't there. You wasn't in the house. You wasn't in a real world Filipino house. Filipino / black
From the
house.
Bay, I am in
You
their
wasn't
house.
there.
And nobody, I guarantee you one question. Excuse me, damn, I just slobbered on. In all of the years of you doing interviews, nobody has ever asked him about Bboy Ivan and Crumbs.
Let's not forget Remind. I mean, that
oh
whole
my
Style
God,
Elements
Remind,
crew.
they were incredible.
Remind was the illest. Like, you couldn't touch Remind.
So, Sway, how did you know them? Did you know them from the Bay?
If you know hip hop, you know Style Elements.
I'm a real, Heather, I'm for real hip hop. I'm not, I just don't say it. But I met them at Radiotron.
Oof. Wow.
Come on, man. You better
Let's
stop
go,
playing
bro.
with me,
They don't
man.
even know about.
They don't even know what radio. Tell them what Radiotron is.
Here's the thing, man. People don't know about videotapes and being passed around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't know about. They just don't know about. Oh God! Now you got me on freestyle session. They don't know about. I'm at a loss for words right now because you got me. But like those things were events that you only knew through underground. Like you only knew these were like our underground superheroes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
When you saw b-boys like Flo, and you saw right.
Was
like,
you a dad? Did you actually?
K-Mel, like come on, man.
Oh my gosh, dude! I
Like-
follow K-Mel. All of these people are extraordinary dancers that come from the culture. B-boys, B-girls,
Like real
real
hip hop, like real hip hop.
And you was dancing, Joe, too.
I'm OG, like I'm from the '80s, so I was doing that back then, and then I started producing. So I had my own b-boy jams. Like I threw Illest in the Game. I was hosting freestyle session.
You used to host freestyles?
What?
Did we
Come
meet
on,
back?
man.
Stop, man. Come on, hold up.
That's
bro.
why I'm asking.
real
How
hip.
did you know those
Like
guys and didn't know him?
when you watch my special In His Elements, that's the only reason why I named it In Its Elements because I wanted to show the elements. So I showed DJ, I showed b-boys, I showed everything, culture. I did it all, right? So that's why I put Ronnie in my special because I knew b-boy Ronnie. But I knew him when he was 17. We opened for Snoop Dogg, like 22 years ago at the Blaisdell, and I knew him. And I always told him, I go, if I ever get a special, man, I want you to open it. Like I want you to be in it. Like, and when I finally got that call from Netflix that I could shoot this special in the Philippines, I was like, you're coming with me. So that's how I got him into that. That's why when people go, oh, why did he put b-boys in his special? Oh, because dancing's a thing. I'm like, what? I've been doing that.
Yeah, man.
I'm not doing it because it's a thing. I'm not doing it because it's a TikTok culture. I am the culture. If you watch any of my old specials, like all these shoe heads, these sneakerheads now that they can do it because they can buy it online, I was rocking them. Look at my first special. I've always been rocking my J's, man. Always. So
Talk your shit, Joe.
always. They're just now catching up. My first special. My first special was Flip 3s. My second special, I was rocking Olympic J 1s. My third special, I was rocking Bread 11s. Come on, man. Stop playing.
Jo Koy says, stop playing.
You sound like a Jay-Z verse. Come on.
Stop.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing more offensive when they walk up to me and go, "Oh, Jo Koy's a sneakerhead." I'm like, "Yo, please."
But how old
Don't
they
do
be?
that.
Because you gotta introduce yourself to different generations. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get it, but like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I got a gray beard, bro.
What if it's a 12-year-old,
I've been doing
Joe?
this.
Yo, he got on Bates, Heather. Yo, Jo Koy, let me say, and B-Boy Ronnie, I had the distinct pleasure of hosting for years. When I'll go overseas and host the Red Bull, BC1 competitions. And B-Boy Ronnie, the first year he became a host, I got to train him. I think we were in we're either in Germany or
Give him his credits first, though, man.
Oh,
I
go,
mean,
yeah, go,
Filipino
go,
B-boy winning BC one. That's against the world, by the way.
Yeah.
And to this day, I think he's almost 40 right now and still killing it.
He
And now
like
he's going to be
30.
the coach. Now he's going to be the coach for the Olympic team.
Yeah.
They got beat. Well, what do they call it? They call it breaking, or what do they call it?
No. I think they
don't
call it. I don't know what
they
they're
call
calling
it.
it, to be honest.
Wait a minute.
Because they don't want to call it B-boys
They don't
either.
want to call
Yeah.
it B-boy. It's some kind of. Hold on, I'll get the
Yeah.
proper. Yeah. Go ahead.
Remind Bboy Ivan. Bboy Ivan one time showed up at me and King Tech's house.
Yeah.
One day, just in the middle of the day, rang our bell and was like, Ivan, well, we live in, we live in the valley.
Yeah.
And he just showed up, bro. And I brought him in and sat him on the couch and
Yeah.
we fed him. A week later,
Yeah.
he was still on the couch.
Yeah, man.
And that's Bboy Ivan.
Yeah, he's notorious. He's got a lot of stories like that.
It's
Yeah,
just
but and he's got a way of just like he's got a smile, he's got a way of talking, and then next you know you're feeding him breakfast a week later.
It's true.
Yeah.
If you look at our video we did for,
But if you see him dance,
yeah, I feel like Crumbs was in our the video we did for this. Oh, Jesus.
With you and King Tech?
Yeah. Can't believe
now?
I'll follow for now.
yeah, Style Elements changed the game for
It'll come to
B-boys.
it. Yeah.
Like all these big like power moves that you see like
The
all
anthem.
these kids
I'm
doing.
sorry,
them.
the anthem. My bad. He was in the anthem video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
he
like
don't-
all those big moves and power combos and all that, like that's all Style Elements. They did that first. So
They would have first. I remember going.
and
to
that's what freaked everybody out. That's what freaked Rocksteady out. Like they couldn't believe these kids from Stockton were just taking them
Yo, it was
in their
amazing.
event.
In their event. And so when I went to Radiotron, I jumped, which is a B-boy event where, some of the illest dancers around come and they battle. If you make it into Radiotron, that's like making an NBA,
Gotcha.
All right. And I remember watching Crumbs and Remind and B-boy Ivan and calling King Tech right then and there and told him, man, the game has just elevated to a whole nother level that I don't know if old school dudes could come into that level. They just got to perfect what it is that they do.
Yeah.
Because the strength, the power moves that Style Elements was doing,
was
I've never
crazy.
seen that before.
Yeah, man.
And so what happened, bro, is we used to watch it on we're going on VHS.
Yeah, VHS tapes.
But when
It'd
it
get
got
passed around, it was great.
But now with YouTube, everybody got to see those old tapes. So
Yeah.
if you go to Korea, you go to Germany, you go to Japan, they doing those power moves equally as good.
Well, no, now they've taken it to the
whole
next
nother
level. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's because of talent. I'll tell you this too. When I met Crumbs, I was booking my own theaters. I used to rent this theater called the Huntridge Theater in Vegas, and Remind was doing a show, and I knew his girlfriend at the time, and she introduced me to him because I go, I want some B-boys to open my shows, and she introduced me to Remind. And that's how I met Remind, and then that's how I met Crumbs. And Crumbs came to the event with this huge camera, but like expensive. At the time, it was expensive. It was like a Canon 3-chip digital. It was like an $8,000 camera. Just a B-boy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he got fat laces on and this expensive camera. And I'm like, yo, what? How'd you afford that? He's like, I make my own videotapes. I'm like, what? And he's shooting it. And he's the one that taught me how to shoot videos. So that's how I started shooting my video. I started making my own videos and selling them. It's because of Crumbs.
From Style Elements.
Yeah. So you'll see his logo on the back of my old DVDs I used to make because it was because of him. And Remind's the one that told me to buy an Apple computer. He was like, yo, you got to buy an Apple. This is the way you make your own flyers and you can cut your own movies on this. And he's the reason why I started buying Apple.
Your people over there.
These
have
are street kids.
Yeah, they have no idea. They came for you to promote the special. Funny is funny, by the way. New York Comedy Festival presents Jo Koy. Funny is funny.
Madison Square Garden, baby.
Okay, Madison, he made it to the Garden.
Yes.
That's going to be when? November 10th. This original B-boy is now performing on the Madison Square Garden solo on his own. That's hip-hop.
Yes, it is.
That's crazy.
What the
Let's
fuck?
go.
Funny is funny.
And your handler has no idea who we're talking about. Just like, what is this? So I get that for you. So you can say they promoted the... they promoted it. Yo, this is fucking amazing.
Oh, I love it. I love talking about it. I love looking at old flyers and stuff. Like, you know, I used to rent out these theaters, and I was in love with Dada. Dada, you remember the
Dada,
the
brand.
And Biggie would wear and LL would wear it. But back then there was no internet, right? So you would watch BET and you'd see them rocking it, and then you would hope to God that you would go to New York someday and get it, or you would know someone that went to New York to get stuff like that. There were no stores or anything like that, and I was checking in. There's a convention. I know you remember this way. It was called the Magic Convention.
Come on, stop playing, man. I had clothing lines. I was
Right?
there. I had a booth set up.
Right?
Yeah.
So and everyone loved, you know, it was, they called it the urban wear.
That's
you
what they
remember? And
called
it was
it.
a separate section, but it had everything that you saw on TV, right? And to get in there, you know, was expensive. You had to buy the pass, and it'd be like $2,000 for the weekend. And so my friends, they were dancing for tribal streetwear.
Oh wow!
So it was Remind and Crumbs, and I was like, yo, I got to get in there because I met the owner of Dada, and I want to talk because I met him. I checked him into a hotel. His name was Damani. I remember his first name, Damani. He was a great guy, and I was checking him in. I was like, yo, I love that hat. I was like, how do I get it? And it's like he told me where you can get it and blah blah. And then I go, how is it working for this company? And he goes, I own it. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe this. It was like, wait, what? You own this company? And then he sent his assistant to give me. He was like 25.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'm checking in people. I'm 25. You know what I mean? And then I told him I had a comedy show. He goes, yeah. He goes, we want to do a comedy show. And he gave me the number to his marketing guy, Carlos. And he goes, call this number and let's set up a meeting. And I was like, all right. And I kept calling Carlos. I kept calling him, and he wouldn't pick up the phone. He wouldn't pick up the phone at all. And I kept calling him. Every day I would call him. And I was like, screw it, man. I know that the Magic Convention's coming next year. I will make a tape. I'll stand at the booth. I remember what he looks like, and I'll hand it to him. But I had to get into this convention. So my boys, you know, Remind and Crumbs, they were dancing for tribal. So they both went in, and then Crumbs came out with another lanyard and gave it to me. And then I walked in, and I did that for 4 days straight. And I would literally just stand by the Dada booth and just wait and just looking for him. And then finally he came. I think it was like on the third or the fourth day, and I was like, there he is. And I walked right in. Like I had this bullshit lanyard, you know what I mean? It said entertainer or something like, or dancer. And I had no reason to be in that booth. And I go, Damani, I met you. Blah blah blah, and I'm a comedian, and you gave me that. And he goes, I remember you, man. Did you? Why didn't you never call Carlos? I go, I did call him. You never picked up. He goes, Carlos, and Carlos pops up. He's like, what's up? He goes, this is Jo Koy, man. This is the kid I was telling you about, the comedian. Let's hook him up with some stuff. They gave me all this gear, and Carlos came up to me and apologized. He goes, come to my office. We'll talk. They want to do a comedy show. By the way, Carlos is my best friend to this day.
Oh wow!
It's like 25 years later.
Damn.
Yeah.
God bless.
Carlos
And so I go to LA and have this meeting with Lance and Levetta. You remember Lance and Levetta?
Lance, yep.
And by the way, I want
this is
everyone to
crazy.
know. I want everyone to know
This is
if you want a
crazy.
black-owned company, it was Dada, hands down. It was black from top to bottom. It was
okay.
marketing was black. The owner was black. The designer was black. Everything was black, and it was just like it was beautiful. It was just incredible. Like I would walk in there, my mouth would drop. I couldn't believe what was happening, and Lance walked in. He had this big afro, and he had these blue glasses on. Like it's hard to tell this generation what that meant to me because I remember when Def Jam was a thing. Like I can't believe this is on TV. You know, you're seeing this.
Def Comedy Jam.
It was a thing. There was no internet. Like to see a black millionaire owning a clothing company, and you're just like, what? Like this is it's possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember he walked in and he sat down and he goes, yeah, I'm a fan of yours, man. He goes, and I remember me and Remind worked on the sheet, how much it was going to cost to produce this show. And I remember I asked, I initially it was going to be $8,000, and I was like, that's too much, man. They're not going to give us $8,000. How about $5,500? And we made it $5,500. And then I handed it to Lance, and then and he looked at it. He goes, yeah, you really funny, man. So $5,500. All right, let's do it. I was like, fuck, I could have asked for $8,000, man.
Always ask for more,
Bro,
Lesson learned.
yeah, and you know what? This is what ended up happening. I did that first show at the Hunt Ridge and sold it out, and he let me keep all the door money, and then he ended up just sponsoring all my shows. Like for years, he gave me a company card. Like he didn't give it to me. He just gave me a photocopy of it, and I can book all my tickets, and he would approve everything. My hotel rooms, it was all produced by Dada Footwear. And and so then I got the Apollo. If I ever told you how I got the Apollo, that's another story.
How'd you get the Apollo?
Right.
Shit,
So-
when is this gonna happen?
It's an interview.
Yeah.
So, but if you watch the Apollo, I win the Apollo, right?
Yeah.
With Rudy Rush. You'll see I'm wearing the hat, a Dada Supreme hat. That's because Lance paid for me to fly out there. He paid everything. He paid for my room.
You remember Lance?
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, he gave me the hat. That's why you'll see me rocking that hat. It's because they paid for everything. It was so dope. But how I got the Apollo was, man, there's so many stories I can tell you. Because the way I got BET's Comic View is how I got the Apollo. And when BET's Comic View went to Vegas, here's another thing I'll tell you guys. Like, black comedy wasn't allowed in the major casinos.
Yeah.
So they would go to like these off places.
Wow.
So BET's Comic View, when I was a kid, when it came to Vegas, was at this place. It was at a restaurant called the Country Star, which was like a Planet Hollywood for country singers. How ironic, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I went there at 8 o'clock. It was at 8 o'clock. I was a dolphin tour guide. That's another story.
You were a dolphin tour guide?
Yes.
Dolphin?
But
What
I
does
was
that
doing,
mean?
but I was doing comedy and then also tour guiding at the Mirage Hotel. And this girl, she was like, "Hey, Comic View's here. You need to go," because everyone knew I was a comic in Vegas. And I was like, "What?" And I ran home. I didn't even take a shower. I just put my suit on, and I grabbed this fake resume of mine, and I went all the way to the Country Star, and there was a line wrapped around the building, and I went up to the security guard, and I go, "I'm a local comic. A lot of people know me. No one knew me." And I go, "Can I just talk to the promoter? I'd like to do like 5 minutes, open the show." And swear to God, I don't know what happened. The gods were there or something, but this security guard, "I'll be right back." No security guard ever helps anybody.
Right.
And he goes and gets the promoter, and to this day, we're still friends. Her name's Yvette Anderson. And she walked up to the door, and I handed her my resume, and I go, "Hey, I'm a local comic. I would just like to warm up the show. Can I go first? I'll do like 5 minutes if I can." And then she goes, "Oh, we already got all our comics in, but I'll keep holding this. I'll hold on to this because we're doing a tour. We're coming back, and I'll get you on next time. But do you want to see the show?" I was like, "Yes." She let me in. I sat down. She had that big ass camera that Crumbs had.
Yep,
she had the same one. And I was sitting down next to her. I was like, "Damn, I can't believe I'm here. I'm about to see this happen live, BET live." And none of them showed up. They were all late.
All the comics.
All of them. The host, everybody. It was like 45 minutes.
And they were all
It
black.
was BET.
Joe ain't want to say that.
It was like-
I'll say it. Black
it was-
people late.
It was late. And it was sold out. They started booing. People started booing. They're getting mad. And Yvette walks up to me and she goes, "Can you do 5 minutes?"
It's your chance, kid.
And I'm like, I go, "If you can record me on that camera, I'll go up." She goes, "Let me set it up." And she set it up. And no one introduced me. I just walked up to the mic. I did like 8 minutes. I get a standing O.
Wow.
And then I walk off stage, and Bo P. I don't know if you remember Bo P.
I remember Bo P, yeah.
One of my favorite comics. And he was like, he's real Southern, right? You don't understand. He's like, "Who the fuck are you? God damn, you good."
He said that?
Yeah, he goes, "You good? You ever want to be on Comic View?" And I go, "Oh my God, I would love it." He goes,
Wow.
"Next week you on Comic View," and then that's how I got Comic View.
Man, get that fucking stuff. Get
Stay
that.
ready. Stay ready.
What year was that?
That was like 1997, 98.
We were talking about Greater Later.
Wow.
That was 97, 98.
Yeah.
Now he's in Harvest. It's 2022. He's at Madison Square Garden.
Beautiful.
What a beautiful fucking
Journey. Woo.
That was crazy, right? And then that's how I got the Black College Comedy Tour. Because I had a tape. I was on BET, and there was this thing called the Black College Comedy Tour, and I was other.
Yeah.
So you have this list of all these black comics.
Other, I'm dying actually.
You're gonna love this. So
I'm other.
you weren't allowed to have two black comics on the show. You needed diversity, right? So you can have two black comics, but you got to have something else, right? And I was the other. So they would be like, "Yeah, do you have like an Asian guy? Yeah, we got Jo Koy. Do you have a white guy? Jo Koy. You have a Latino guy? Yeah, Jo
Jo
Koy."
Koy.
So now that's how I met JB and you know everyone, Samore and Michael Blackson. So I was flying them to Vegas doing my show. So like in the 90s, I had JB Smooth up, like before anyone before Curb, before any of that. And Michael Blackson, he was wearing a dashiki. I remember my dad, white, blue eyes, just go like, what is this? This is incredible. Like he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Because it wasn't out yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you only knew the big names that were on TV. So like to see someone like a JB Smooth like was incredible. It was mind blowing. And so that's how I got that, and that's how I met Honest John. And then this is how I got the Apollo. And I'll be done. So Honest John's like, you need to meet Bob Sumner because he was on this tour. He was on the Def Comedy Jam tour. He goes, you need to meet Bob Sumner. He's gonna love you. And so I'm like, all right. So he goes, we're going to be at Sam's Town. Here's another thing. Def Jam couldn't even play the Strip also. They had to play Boulder Highway at this place called Sam's Town, which was a country comedy club. Like it was a country thing.
Discrimination, boy.
That's how it was back then.
It's blatant.
Sold out, too. Completely sold out. And my sister was with me and her fiance at the time. And I had a camera this time. And I just wanted to record my set. I'm about to do Def Jam, right? And Bob Sumner comes in, eating, right? And he's just, no, Honest John's not there. And he's eating. And he's like, Honest John says, you're funny. He's like, so this is what you're going to do. We're not going to turn the house lights off because there's still sitting people. And we're going to open up that curtain. And just stand in front of that curtain. Don't say, welcome to Def Jam. Don't say, you're going to enjoy Def Jam. And when you say goodnight, just say goodnight in your name. And then just crawl right back through the curtain. You got like 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then he leaves, and then I look at my sister. I'm like, why am I even gonna go up? I'm gonna bomb. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's putting me up at the worst time. And then the stage manager walks up to me and he's like, hey man, we're at like capacity almost. We're gonna bring the house lights down for you, but that's all we can do. We can't open up the curtains. We can't announce you. Just do what he said. Just kill it. So they turn the house lights down. I walk through the curtain. The little triangle pops open. By the way, the set's beautiful. It's like, it's Def Jam. You know what I mean? It's got the big Def Jam logo, but I get it. If I bomb, he didn't want me to be affiliated with it. So I get it. So he opens up the door, opens up the curtain. I walk through it, closes the curtain, and I crush, right? Like, it's like 2,500 people. They're stomping. I say goodnight. People standing. I go through the curtain. It's Bob Sumner and Rudy Rush. And Rudy Rush is like, who the fuck is this kid? And Bob goes, that's Honest John's friend. He's like, well, why the fuck did you put him up before the show? Why didn't you put him on the show? Now I got to go up after that shit? He's like, what are you doing, Bob? He's like, I didn't know, man. He's like, yo, you want to do the Apollo? You ever hear of the Apollo? I go, I love the Apollo. He goes, I'll have my producers call you. You doing the Apollo? And then they flew me out and I did the Apollo.
Wow. The fuck, man? Get it. Oh, my God.
Stay ready.
Wow.
I swear, it's crazy. You can call Rudy. Call Rudy right now.
God.
That's exactly how it happened.
Jo Koy. By the way, not just Filipinos, every culture like black people. I just thought I'd throw that out there. You said that earlier in the conversation.
Yeah.
Everybody likes us.
No, but I was talking about me specifically.
No, I get it.
I'm not generalizing myself.
You want to battle?
I just want to throw that out.
You want to battle.
No, but that's how, that's why when I hear people saying like, like when, man, when's it going to happen for me? It's like, make it happen.
Make it happen, man.
I don't understand people that just sit there and be on Idol. I'm never on Idol, man. I'm always in fifth gear. Like, let's go.
You never stop working, man, and I appreciate that about you. And your stories are amazing, man.
Thank you.
We've been meaning to have these kind of conversations. I just didn't know how deep-rooted you were in the culture. I can't have... If I mention Crumbs and you know who it is, then I know you deep-rooted in the culture,
By the way, the category in the Olympics will just be called breakdancing.
Oh, okay.
Dancing.
So they are
just
doing
breakdancing, not b-boy or nothing.
Yeah,
just
and that's what they don't want it to be called.
That's the
b-boys don't want to call it that. Yeah.
No true b-boy
or b-girl. They don't want to call it that.
Breakdancing.
They just call it breakdancing.
Yeah, that's just wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think wow. I wonder how they got that through.
It's safe.
Flow. I thought Flow was one of the coaches too. Flow Master.
That's Rocksteady. He's incredible. He's also like a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
I love it.
He's incredible.
Jo Koy, man, you have such an amazing. This is amazing.
To me, like I just learned like how to just never complain about the time people give you. Just take advantage of it.
Yes.
5 minutes, 8 minutes, 7. It could be a world of difference. Don't complain. Okay, no problem. That's what I'll do. Just use your 5 minutes wisely. Use your 8 minutes wisely. That's to me what I think was the lesson in all of it. Like you didn't complain, not publicly at least. Like you went to your people like, damn, what am I? But you went and you used that time wisely, and it turned out to be a huge blessing.
And you guys kept saying, "Stay ready." It's that's for real. If you're unprepared, then I'd be nervous if you gave me that time. But I was ready, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
okay, if you're gonna give me that, then I'll take advantage of it. And that's why when Netflix didn't give me my first special, when they turned me down, I was like, okay, I'll just shoot it myself.
Yeah, I remember that. We talked about that, and then you balled out with that.
I did. I shot it and I cut it. You know, here's another thing about Netflix, and I love Netflix. Don't get me wrong. I have a great relationship with them now, but at that initially, you know, when they said no to me, I didn't understand because people that were opening for me were getting Netflix specials, and I just was like, it just my mouth dropped. I just didn't understand what is it that you're not seeing that you think that I don't belong on that platform. But whatever, I got it. Whatever I have to face, I'll deal with it. And I knew I had to shoot it myself. And I shot it like a Netflix special because even my manager, by the way, my manager is a big part of this whole movement too. But he was like, well, let's just shoot it at a comedy club. It'll be cheaper. But I'm like, yeah, but Netflix don't shoot at comedy clubs. So we got to make it look like a Netflix special. So I went all out. I put all my money into this one.
This, yeah.
And I just knew if they see it, they're gonna buy it. And I don't know if I told you this, but 2 days before we were about to shoot the special, with all the cameras in, all the producers in, everybody in, the director, everybody was in. Stage was set up and everything. Tickets were already sold. 2 days before we were about to shoot, Netflix called and found out that we were shooting it, and they wanted to be clear. They were like, hey, we heard you're shooting that special. We just want you to know we really don't want it.
What?
Yeah, that's a true story. They literally said that to me, and I cried backstage. My son was there, my agent, and I was like, what? I was crying. I was like, yo, why do I gotta go through this? And so yeah. But you know what? I don't mean to tear up, but it was just like that moment. Like when you see me walk out, you see me smiling, but just moments before I was
tearing up.
Yeah, because I had everything invested.
Yeah, man. But you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Bro. That's what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be with them at that time, because look at it now.
Yeah, well, no, you're right.
Look at it now.
But they bought it. They did buy it. It took me to shoot it. It took me to cut it. And then when I brought it to them, they bought it.
Wow.
And thank God. And like I said, the staff that's there now, whoever made that decision, they're not there now.
Yeah.
You know, and if they are, the crew that I'm working with, they've always been fans, and we've had a great relationship ever since.
Yo, you have a beautiful journey, brother.
Yes, you do.
I'm tearing up. Me and Joe are both crying.
That's why this fourth one is so special to me. Because I finally felt like, you know, when you're in this business, right, and you just feel like you get these notes that are just kind of sly, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to say one thing, but they say another, and you know you keep getting these notes like, well, you're being too specific. Why don't you talk about more evergreen stuff? You know what I mean? It's like, wait, why can't I talk about my mom?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand what's so hard about my mom that you guys just think it's too specific, and I didn't get it. And you constantly get those notes, and it just beats you down, and it's like, finally I'm in that position where it's like, okay, well, Steven Spielberg liked the story about my mom, you know what I mean, and everyone else is starting to like these stories and about my life and my family, and now I felt like on this fourth special I was in a position where I'm like, now I can really talk about what happened.
There you go, man.
So that's why I love this special so much.
Came full circle. Funny is the name of the special.
No,
not that one.
No, that's the tour.
Oh, that's the tour. Okay.
The name of the special is called Live from the Los Angeles Forum.
Live from the Los Angeles Forum.
Yes.
Jo Koy, man, you have an amazing story, brother.
Oh,
this story is amazing, and you only giving us peace. I see you condensing and moving fast.
Yeah.
It needs to be heard, and one of the themes, you know, we often say sometimes, man, you just gotta believe in yourself 100%, even when others don't.
Yeah.
Like all the naysayers that told you what would work, what wouldn't work, what couldn't work, what you wouldn't do, and you continue to do it, and look at you now.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. It's a lesson in that, man. If y'all watching this right now, man, you gotta have 100% faith in yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bro.
And always stay dreaming. I always say that. I know it sounds cliche, but if you're not dreaming, you're not living, right?
Yeah.
You're just walking around. Like it's all about dreaming. And if you dream, and it will happen if you constantly think about that dream. But the minute you stop dreaming, man, you might as well just stop living.
You get stagnant. Hey, man, we're going to have to wrap the show, unfortunately. But I want to play something and see what reaction. You still dance?
Man, I can't. Man, I got sciatica now.
Hit it.
Oh,
Come on, Joe. You ain't got nothing? You ain't got no top rocks? Nothing?
from the chair?
Yeah. You pull the chair out the way, man. Come on, man. Come on.
No, I can't.
Come on, Joe.
I can't
You a B-boy.
do that. I can't.
When
I
them drums come
can't.
on, you ain't feeling that?
I love it.
Wow, Joe.
Turn it down.
Turn it down. Turn it down.
I can't do those moves anymore.
Okay, all right.
You're trying to get an old man to look dumb? I'm not going to do it.
No, man.
It was so funny. I was popping in front of my son the other day, and he literally went, "Wow, Dad, you look your age."
He said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
How old's your son?
And I'm like, "But this is cool." And he's like, "No, Dad,
He's like, stop
can
it.
you not do that?"
Your son said that?
Yeah.
How old is your son now? I heard you
He's
talk about him on the
19.
show. He's 19 now?
Yeah.
Bring him up here one time.
Yeah?
Bring him up here.
Yeah, he would love it.
Yeah, bring him up here, and I'll talk to him about what it is his dad is doing and put the history.
Oh, no. My son, that's another thing. I will say this about my son. He got to see all of this, and he respects it, and he loves it, and he's been motivated and inspired by it. He always calls me the GOAT, and that's all I want to hear is my son, like, really see what his dad's doing, you know, and I want him to move from this. I want him to do this. So,
Well, man.
yeah, man.
Joe, I appreciate you coming by. Did you get that time? Let me. You said, well, you mostly. Were you popping? Was that your specialty, or because King
Poppin',
Tech
all
was
that.
used to be called Wiz Tech in Northern California? So
Yeah.
King,
No, I was a b-boy too. So
was
I
a
would
b-boy too?
windmill. The hardest trick I could do is just windmill to head spin, and that's about as far as I
but
can
you was
go.
mostly a popper.
Fire.
Yeah. That's how I.
Party people.
Why are you doing this? I'm gonna look stupid.
We're not 19
You a
yet.
popper. You can't even resist it.
And then pass it to me. Then you pass it to me.
Hey!
Yo, get up in a round of applause.
You're so dumb. I look like a 50-year-old man trying to pop.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why not?
Great, Joe.
Yeah,
That's
man.
beautiful, man.
That was
Hey,
good.
love you, brother.
I love you more.
I gotta hang out, man.
Let's go. I would
gotta
love
hang
to
out,
talk to
man.
you.
Come on,
I
man.
love it when you talk. I swear. I love it.
Thank you, man. I don't get to divulge a lot of this kind of information with folks, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's always great to be able to, because that's my childhood too.
Yeah.
You know, Key Tech and I threw a lot of events where we would always rep the B-Boys, Cool
Yeah.
Joe, B-Boy, Cool Joe, all of these guys,
That's,
you know.
Oh, Cujo. God, you know everybody.
Bro, I know Wick B-Boy, Wicked, everybody.
Wicked.
Come
Yo,
on,
those
man.
are all my guys. Those
Yeah,
are all of them, man.
And so we would, at that point, had gotten so, massive, so to speak.
Yeah.
And when we would do our tours, if we brought Wu-Tang and all
Yeah.
these different people, we would always have the B-Boys a part of the show. So the videos we shot, like the anthem, you'll see B-Boys
Yeah, man.
alongside Eminem and
Yeah.
RZA and all these, because at that time the B-Boys weren't getting the spotlight.
Ever. In
Remember
fact,
that?
this is the first time they're actually getting in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Out of all the elements, graffiti got theirs,
Yeah.
DJs got
DJing,
theirs,
rapping took it to
rapping
the
got
whole-
theirs, but the B-Boys always been in the background. But
Yeah.
they're literally the backbone of hip hop, honestly.
Yeah.
Like they're the life and soul of the party. When the cipher opens up, it's everyone gravitates towards that cipher.
And it's the one element that stayed true
to the game,
yeah, to
real
the core.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Like with break beats, like
Yeah.
James Brown break beats. Like
Yeah.
that'll get the whole room shaking. But I will say this, since now that I know this, but I've been talking to Ronnie and all the cats, Remind and Crumbs and everybody, because it's been like over 20 years since my B-Boy event, which was sponsored by Dada, by the way. It was called Dada Footwear, Illest B-Boys in the Game. And we were thinking about doing a part 3 and like doing it again.
I'm in.
Bro, yo!
You need a media partner.
Bro, let's go.
LGD.
Yo,
Let's
you know
do
how
it.
dope that would be?
Yo, let's do it, bro. I haven't done
It would be
nothing.
so
Yeah,
big,
I
and we
would-
do it in Vegas.
Come on, let's do it.
I'm telling you, it would be the biggest
Man, I
B-boy
would-
event ever.
And we'll
if
get
you
the
did
legends.
this with me.
Nah, let's get it going, bro. And let's tap in
Yo.
our resources. We're in a different position now.
We're in a big position.
We got resources.
Oh, God,
That's what
we got
hip hop. That's, you
everything.
know what I mean. That's the evolution
Let's
right
go,
there,
bro.
Come on, man. Love you, Jo Koy,
you
man.
more.
Jo Koy, man. November 10th.
November 10th, Madison Square Garden. And then my Netflix special is out right now. It's called LA Live at the LA Forum. And then, of course, my movie Easter Sunday is overseas, internationally, and then now it finally left the theaters, and it's on demand in Amazon Prime. So go check that out.
Do this hip hop, man. Thank you for coming by, bro. You
Love it.
you put me in a beautiful mood.
Yes, me too.
Thank you, brother. And Jo Koy, if they want to reach you, how can they reach you?
At Jo Koy, JOKOY on every platform.
I'm at Real Sway across the board on social. On that note, we have nothing left to say.